I'm back with the next video. In this video, we will discuss Merchant of Venice, Act 1, Scene 1, lines 113 to lines 185. As we have discussed up to line first to 112 in the first part of this. So, we will start from the point where Gratiano and Lorenzo exit, and only Antonio and Bassanio are left in the Act 1, Scene 1. So, Antonio says to Bassanio, "Is that anything now? Something new?" So, anything of concern? Bassanio says, "Gratiano speaks an indefinite deal of nothing." So, Gratiano speaks uselessly, more than any man in all Venice. So, he speaks more than all the men in Venice. The reasons are as 2 grains of wheat hid in 2 bushels of chaff. You shall seek all the day, or you find them. So, the reasons would be like this, that 2 grains of that are hidden in 2 bushels of worthless stuff, and you must spend a whole day to find them. When you find them not worth of the search. So, Antonio when said that, "Is there any concern?" Bassanio said that Gratiano speak too much, and that speak is useless, worthless. Now, as 2 friends are close to each other, Antonio put up the question, "Well, tell me now, what lady is the same to whom you swear a secret pilgrimage that you today promised to tell me?" So, Antonio says, "Well, tell me, who is the lady to whom you have decided to visit secretly? You promised me to tell about that lady." So, Antonio asks a question about that lady, about whom Bassanio is to tell today. Now, Bassanio answers, "It is not unknown to you, Antonio." So, he is saying, "You know, Antonio, how much I have disabled my mine estate. So, I have spent my meager fortune. I have disabled mine estate, means I have wasted my wealth by something showing a more swelling port. So, I have been living in a more lordly way, showy way. Then my faint means would grant continuance. So, my means were not sufficient, my means were not allowing that, but I have been living in a very lordly manner. Nor do I now make moan to be abridged from such a noble rate, and I am not sad that I cannot live more in such noble standards. So, I am getting abridged. For that I am not sad. So, I am not complaining that I no longer I can live in such a style as the nobles are living. But my chief care is to come fairly off from the great debts. But what I am caring of is to come out of the debt. Wherein my time something too prodigal. So, in my youth I was too extravagant, I was spending too much, hath left me gagged to you, Antonio. So, Bassanio is saying, I owe the most in money and in love, and from your love I have a warranty to unburden all my plots and purpose, how to get clear of all debts I owe. So, what Bassanio is trying to say, that my main worry is to come honorably out of my heavy debts, and those debts I have occurred due to my extravagance and my youth, and I owe most from you. So, most of the loan is taken from Antonio. So, both in terms and in love, I owe you most. Your affection gives me enough strength to disclose you my plans and pay off my debts. So, your affection, your love, that you love me, gives enough power for me, to me, so that I can disclose my plans. Now, what Antonio says, I pray you, God, good Bassanio, let me know it, and if it stands as yourself, still do. So, Antonio says that tell me everything, Bassanio. If your plan is perfectly honorable, as you are. So, I pray you, good Bassanio, let me know it, and if it stand as yourself, still do. So, if that plan is honorable enough as you are, within the eye of honor, be assured, my purse, my person, my extremist mean, lie all unlocked your occasion. So, if you have an honorable plan as you are honorable, then in that case, my money, my body and all my resources will be available for your use. So, that is what Antonio is trying to say and replied as a good friend for the Bassanio's question. Now, Bassanio again twisted because he wanted to lay a plan to Antonio. So, he again twisted the point and he told a trick to Antonio, that Bassanio says that in my school days, when I had lost one shaft. So, when I was in school, when I was a child, I was a kid, and I used to play with bow and arrow. So, when I lost one shaft, one arrow, I shot his fellow to the same flight. So, when I lost one arrow, I used to shot another arrow in that direction, the same way with more advised watch, and this time when I shoot the second arrow, I watch it closely, more advised watch, to find the other fourth, and in this way I find the first one, because I have shooted the arrow in the same direction, and by adventuring both, I oft found both, and when I adventure for both arrows, I found both because I got the direction. I urge this childhood proof because what follows is pure innocence. So, he is saying that I am urging this childhood proof because what is following is pure innocence. I owe you much and I like you willful and like a willful youth that I owe is lost. So, he is saying that I am too much in debt of you, and like a willful youth, like an extravagant youth, I have lost all that. But if you please to shoot another arrow, means give me another debt. If you shoot another arrow, that self way which you shoot the first, I do not doubt, as I will watch the aim or do find both. So, if you give me another debt, if you allow me to shoot another arrow, this time I will watch closely and I will find both the arrows, so I will pay your debt. This is what Bassanio is trying to say to Antonio. Or bring your later hazard back again and thankfully rest debtor for the first. So, there is nothing to lose because this time I will watch carefully. So, this time I will bring this back to you, and thankfully I will thank you for the first debt. So, this is the way Bassanio twisted and actually asked for the debt, another debt, to pay his debt. He is saying that I am debtful to you, and to pay your debt I need one more debt. So, now what Antonio says, you know me well and herein spend but time. So, Antonio says that you know me very well and you only waste my time to wind about my love with circumstances, because you are winding, you are doubting on me, you are saying that I will doubt on you. So, you are doubting my love and imposing circumstances on that, and out of doubt do me more about wrong in making question of my uttermost. Then if you had make waste of all I have. So, Antonio says that if you are doubting me, then it will be better that you must have wasted all my money. Then do not say to me what I should do, that in your knowledge may be done, and I am pressed into it, therefore speak. So, Antonio is saying, you have only to tell me what you want me to do. If you know, that I can do, I will be obliged to do, so please speak. In that case, now Bassanio comes to a point and he says that in Belmont is a lady richly left. So, Belmont, there is a very rich lady and she is fair and fairer than that word, and she is very fair, and the word fair cannot explain her. Of wondrous virtues, sometimes from her eyes I did receive fair speechless messages, and she is full of wondrous virtues, and I have received speechless messages from her eyes. So, there is a mutual understanding between that lady, rich lady, and Bassanio. So, Shakespeare introduces Portia over here in the first scene, Act 1, Scene 1. Portia has no role over here, but Shakespeare has introduced it to raise the curiosity of the audience. Her name is Portia, nothing undervalued. So, now Bassanio reveals that her name is Portia and she cannot be undervalued from Cato's daughter Brutus Portia, and that is comparable to Cato's daughter Portia. Or wife of Brutus, Portia. Nor is the wide world ignorant of her worth, and everyone is aware of how much she is rich. For the four winds blow in from every coast. The winds blow from every direction towards that place, Belmont. Renowned suitors and her sunny locks hang on their temples like a golden fleece. So, people who want to marry Portia come from all the directions, and her sunny hairs hang on her temples like a golden fleece. So, she is such beautiful that her golden hairs hangs, and she is like a temple, which makes her seat of Belmont, Colchis strength. So, Belmont is just comparable to the kingdom of Colchis, and many Jasons come in the quest of her, and many heroes, Jasons, come to conquer her. Oh, my Antonio, but I had the means, my Antonio, my dear friend, if I had means, if I had sufficient money to hold the rival place with one of them, if I can be rival to one of them, if I can be the suitor, if I can be one who can pursue Portia to marry such a rich lady, then I have a mind prestigious for such thrift. So, in mind I have this forecast, I am foretelling that I will be questionless fortunate. He is saying that it is rather signal of my mind that I will be fortunate enough, and in that case I will pursue Portia for marriage. And for what he is asking? He is asking money for that, and he has not paid his former money. He is asking another debt to pay the former debt, and from that debt he will pursue Portia and return the money. So, Antonio says, though know that all my fortunes are at the sea. So, Antonio says that all my money is invested in my ships at sea. Neither have I money nor commodity. So, just now I do not have any money nor any commodity nor any goods to raise a present sum. Therefore, go forth, try what my credit can do in Venice. So, you should raise some money, and we should try that what money can be raised on my credit in Venice, that shall be racked even to the uttermost. So, we will stretch this effort to its extreme, to its uttermost, to furnish thee to Belmont, to fair Portia. So, we will try it to the uttermost, so that you can go to Belmont, to Portia. Go presently inquire, and so I will. So, you also go and search in the Venice who can lend us the money, and I will also search where money is, and I no question make to have it of my trust or for my sake, and I have no doubt that I shall have it either on my account of my business credit or against my personal surety. So, in this way they leave, and Act 1, Scene 1 is finished. So, in this Act 1, Scene 1, friends were introduced, and the character of Portia, which is one of the most important characters in the play after Antonio, is being introduced. So, Gratiano, Lorenzo, Salarino, all were being introduced, and they talked with their friends, and obviously the main character of the play, the merchant on whose name the play is, the Merchant of Venice, Antonio is being introduced with Bassanio. So, this was the Act 1, Scene 1, and we will continue this series. So, thank you for being with us. Thank you very much.